Tabarnak. Hey, David.
Hey Fred, how are you?
We said it again at the same time. Meat Puddles? You know Puddles.
Of course. My Turnips is here again. Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, second, we call it an episode or what? I don't know, but it's been fun.
We have, you made a lot of connections this week, and I heard that we have an old friend on the line.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
Steak.
Ask me what my favorite food is.
What's your favorite food, Fred?
Steak, you said it. Yeah, we called up Joshua Applestone, formerly of Fleischer's.
Of ApplestoneMeats, of the famous ApplestoneMeats food machine, innovator, butchery 2047, future. What are those machines called, Joshua?
We don't have what are they? We haven't come up with a name yet.
Well, let's do that now.
Huh?
Let's do that now.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to say I have to still run the names by the ideas we have and hear what you guys have to say.
The Metatron.
Oh God, yeah. Well, you don't want to. I mean, to get into this is that you really don't want to associate mechanical and meat. You know, you just want to have it be seamless with a transaction, with an experience. You know, you go to a restaurant for an experience, you shop for an experience. So it's I'm trying to come up with it. The funny thing is that we keep coming up with these names, and you know, at the end of the meeting, it's like no one's ever gonna remember the name. No one ever remembers. They remember the brand. They don't remember the name or the model.
What about the ApplestoneMeat robot?
It's a great idea.
Everybody loves robots.
Everyone loves robots.
I think you should call it the Replicant, not the Replicant. Did you know the pandemic was coming when you decided of contactless, no human interaction meat vending machines?
No, we had this going years before that, and we were in development of the new machines that are coming out probably 2 years ago. So it just coincided. It's unfortunate that it's here, but it enables us to just to be more of an option for people for shopping.
So just to make everything clear for the people who are watching this, Joshua Applestone from ApplestoneMeats is of course a famous butcher. He's got a couple of books out, but he's also developed in his hometown and around the state of New York, correct?
New York.
Little automated spaces, like when you go to the bank teller and there'd be a bank machine where you take your money out. Joshua and his team have developed kind of like an automated protein thing. So you can get your hamburger patties, your hot dog sausages, your steak, your lamb chops, all vacuum packed. You pay at the machine, you open the little slot, you take your food, and you go home. And you can go at midnight. You can go get your hot dog sausages at 3 a.m. You can go at any time of the year. So that's why we're talking to Josh. Josh is an old friend of the restaurant. We've done events over the years together, and but he's been hard at work at this pretty cool idea.
Indeed. Yeah, you can put anything in that machine, right? We were discussing that earlier. Automatization in the world of food. You can put shitty food in there, and you can put excellent, well-sourced beef in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're starting with what we do, but the concept is to really be able to offer it for any product, whether it's refrigerated, frozen, or just fresh, room temperature like baked goods. It's pretty endless, and what we're starting with, we just happen to be doing one of the most difficult things to sell out of a machine, is meat, fresh cut meat. So we feel like it's a proper descending order where the trust will be easier and easier. That by the time we hit restaurants are selling their own goods out of there or stuff like that, that it's an easy brand recognition, immediate, impulse sell. It's besides COVID. It just enables for stores to be run with less overhead and more accessibility just for anyone. That was like, you know, the whole concept was to be able to put a grocery store anywhere and charge less for the goods because there's less overhead into it.
That's very clever.
Thank you.
Steaks. What's your favorite steaks?
Yeah. Like steaks. My favorite steak is a top blade, and after that would definitely be a bavette or sirloin flap. Both
Really?
are.
That's interesting because I'm pretty much of a hanger steak type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a ribeye.
Fred likes the ribeye.
Yeah. Why do you like that drier top blade, and what do you find in there?
I find that the top blade, when it's cut correctly, it's not dry. It's interesting you say that. It's really not. I mean, not what I do, not what the way I cut it and do it. I don't. And even when you do the whole entire muscle, it shrinks up and can cut up really nice. It's really versatile. It's funny, like, you know, a hanger steak is just like either of these cuts to me, where the sirloin flap is just, it's not as rich as a hanger steak, but it has more of it. So there's more options to it. You know, it's I've had great steaks all over an animal. It just depends on really who cooks it. But if I was going on a fallback, also some of the top blades that cooks really quickly, which is just convenient as hell for me because I have no time and I always forget to plan ahead. And I really like that.
But you live in a homestead, man. You should.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Josh's house, and there's a tunnel for the hamsters to go between rooms. There's a giant aquarium. There's a room dedicated to Legos. There's an Airstream. There's a skating rink and a shooting range.
Well,
right?
you have a pond now too, I saw.
Yeah. That's the by the clubhouse, by the bunk. Yeah, the Lego room is now graduated into a workout room for the kids too old for the Legos. But yeah.
Workout.
Yeah. It's in COVID, can't do anything but go crazy. So.
Yeah. Well, talking about that, you've been doing some miniatures too, eh? Do you have any handy?
Excuse me?
You have any nearby?
Sure. I have. That's funny. Keep these on my desk. I have like these. I don't know if you can really see them. These are sushi. I have a pineapple ham.
That's funny.
I did this really cool. I did a miniature. I did a miniature of the machines coming out. And like the inside, like the mechanics and stuff.
Oh, it's fully detailed, eh?
Yeah, it's like I keep myself sane. I do these little models, stuff like that. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Like the Applestone glows in the dark. It's pretty cool.
But COVID and this new reality, this is kind of your wheelhouse, kind of. This is maybe like happy times for you somewhat.
For business or for my personal, I get to lock myself away. No,
yeah, isn't this kind of like what you've always wanted?
It's probably too much than what I wanted. But it was great for the first couple of months, and I was like, oh, this is getting kind of crazy. And also how the United States is so behind on this that I'm sure we'll be locked down until the summer at least, if not longer.
Josh, I wish it could be longer, but I'm still learning to edit. If it's too long, I'm just gonna go to bed at 3 a.m. and make so many mistakes. But definitely, I want to put some of those machines for my Toolerie.
He's inventing words these days, and it's like a real problem for everybody.
No.
Toolerie is the new word. It's not a thing.
I'm gonna put the machine in my Toolerie.
A machinery of Tooleries.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Josh.
So thank you, buddy. We hope to see you soon. All the best, and you know how much we love you and your family, and
oh, it's Hanukkah, right?
Soon.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, and we look forward to coming back really bad.
Well, just catch a drone over the border and come and see us.
No problem. See you soon.
take care, buddy.
See you, man. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Hey, do you see Gab? Yeah, even the top star. I don't think he's here today.
Hi Florence, hi Jeanne. Oh, qu'est-ce qu'on boit cette semaine? Cette semaine, on a reçu plusieurs nouvelles sélections pour le vin, dont entre autres les vins de Pinard et Filles, domaine à Magog au Québec, très recherché.
On a aussi reçu les vins de chez Pacina, domaine en Toscane, très fameux sur l'internet.
Et qu'est-ce que tu veux boire toi cette semaine, Jeanne?
Moi, je veux boire ça. C'est de la Grenache gris qui pousse en Californie, vinifié dans l'Utah. C'est genre en skin contact pendant qu'il conduit pendant 5 heures jusqu'à son chai. C'est fresh, c'est light, c'est délicieux. J'aime ça. Puis toi, Flo, qu'est-ce que tu bois?
Moi, Litro Rosso, domaine de la Safa en Ombrie, en Italie. C'est du Sangiovese et du Ciligiolo. C'est un beau litre de jus à boire seul ou avec un ami qui est dans votre bulle.
Bon, ben, je pense que ça irait bien avec ta boîte. Qu'est-ce que t'en penses?
Je pense que oui. Toi de même.
Des vins festifs pour une sélection festive.
Joyeuse fête.
Well, hello, David.
Hey, Fred.
I was just de-snowing the backyard.
De-snowing.
De-snowing the backyard with this beautiful grader
That's a shovel, Fred.
shovel. I was de-snowing with a grader.
All
What are
right.
you doing here?
I'm making myself a little steak.
Again?
Well, a little hamburger steak.
I guess you got inspired by our friend
Joshua. So this is 75% chuck and 25% bacon. I like a hamburger steak. I like a hanger steak. I like a sirloin steak. But I especially like a good sized hamburger steak, Salisbury steak, or hamburger steak royale.
And you know what you
Okay.
also like? You like submarine movies with men that seek vengeance.
I love movies about men getting vengeance upon other men. My favorite movie
Is the Hunt for the Dawn of Red October.
well, yes, close, Fred. That's
Oh,
very
two
good.
movies.
That's you're thinking about Red Dawn
Yeah?
and The Hunt for Red October,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. And Duck Hunt.
I like to use this little plate that we have here at Joe Beef
As a temp plate.
as a template, as you. Yes, Fred.
Brilliant,
All right.
David.
Now, when we get to
Linguistically,
this
we're having
point,
fun. I'd like to thank you again, Pat, for holding the camera today, helping out on everything monolithic.
I heard that we have monolithic surprises coming this week.
Apparently, I think we found the source of the monolith.
Have we now?
Perhaps. I can't reveal it all. Nice. Bermuda.
A little bit.
Do you
Moose
season
there,
before
butter.
or after?
I season. You can go ahead and season that little steak there, Fred.
Can I do like the pretty man that does that?
Yeah, the pretty man, the pretty cross-eyed man from.
Yeah, he's been completely demoted by Mr. Burak.
Has he?
Man, Mr. Burak is a star now. And have you noticed that his food is less big than it was?
Sizzin Barack?
Yeah,
He's quite. I actually like that guy.
I do too. He's very tall in real life.
He is, eh?
He towers over people, a little bit like you over me, metaphorically.
Well,
I'm joking.
your intelligence outweighs my wit and handsome looks. So
Oh,
I
stop
made the
it.
steak and the template, right? And I like to just unmold it, right? And then my butter is like a little bit brown now. I just give her a little shape up again, and simply pop her in there.
To quote
But
your
this-
daughter once, if you're gonna eat, you better eat.
At this point, I could lose the gloves. Could you cut some shallot there for me, buddy?
Yeah. Échalote française, is that the famous cross between onions and shallot that you made at the farm?
Exactly. I invented that.
You also invented sea salt
I did.
and portobello mushrooms.
Yes.
All right, we don't have a knife. Oh, we do have a knife. It's here. Oh, Pat has a knife. Thank you. You worked in France, eh, David?
I worked in France, correct.
Where did you work in France?
I worked in Burgundy. I worked in small villages called Auxey-Durès, and I worked in the town of Mustard. Dijon.
Coleman, Burgundy?
Coleman, Burgundy.
Amazing. All right, you got some shallots here. I remember when I started cooking, it was a thing to specify the difference between échalote and échalote. You remember that?
You know, the first restaurants I worked in, this was a very expensive commodity, and we just used small broiler onions because shallots were few and far between. It was very much a French product.
So was mesclun.
Mesclun didn't even exist.
Where do you put it? When? Now? How? All right. It's going to cook. Meanwhile, let me address an issue I have with my steak.
Go ahead.
All right. If you don't follow Benji on Instagram, you should, because he makes wonderful steaks. The steak is actually outweighed by the blue cheese in his case. This is a ribeye, right? This is a beautiful prime ribeye, Canadian beef. But as you can see, there's a lot of fat here, and a lot of fat here, and a lot of fat here. We have another friend that's famous for meats, Riyad Nasser. You know Riyad?
I do.
We love Riyad. And Riyad taught me one thing, in fact, is that steak of this level of persillage, marbling, has to be cooked kind of around medium. You agree?
I despise when I'm having a steak and medium rare, and then when I'm cutting with my knife and fork, I despise this nugget. Because this nugget doesn't melt in the proper way. This is actually very unpleasant to me in the mouth.
Absolutely. And you know what it tastes like? You remember being 7 and you have a nice aunt that buys you a rabbit made in chocolate for Easter? The cheap but giant one.
Okay.
And we're like waxy chocolate.
Right.
Well, it has a waxy quality to it. So what I like to do here, and I will get a sermon for that, but I like to make little holes, right, and little mash up that fat. So
The steak connoisseurs of the steak channels are going to be all over you for this.
The aficionados. And I also keep a little bit of that fat just to like make some more fat to cook in the pan. What are you?
I'm going to do a little flippy.
Nice.
Alright.
To me, it's a good sign of a hamburger if it crumbles a little bit like that, because you don't want... Actually, I asked the butcher shop to give me the meat that was perfectly loose in the package.
I like the meat that comes straight out of the grinder, that isn't super manipulated, right? And when I'm forming patties, I'll form them very loosely. Right. So when you're actually eating, you can still feel the grain.
I do the same when I form sentences. I form them very loosely.
Are you going to be cooking your steak after?
Maybe.
Why do you have powdered beef stock today?
Ah, it's a secret. I have to give credit where credit is due, but Adam Perry Lang in his recipe for a short rib uses a bit of...
You know, this is like heresy right now to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's going to be like pounded meat with like beef stock. You know, I just put pepper and some salt as well in there and make it into a little paste. If the butter was...
So let me get you. So you have powdered beef stock,
yeah,
salt and pepper,
yeah,
and you've punctured the weird fat in your favorite cut of steak.
absolutely. And I'm not even going to sear it.
I don't even taste that.
Tastes good.
That's good. That's good.
But imagine with the blue cheese and some steak sauce. Steak sauce, this is my go-to thing with steaks. It's actually a house brand based on our own recipe. How does it look?
Well, you know, this is a pancake, a
Whoops,
crepe
I'm on
maker.
it.
Look at that. We're good.
Wow.
We can
Beautiful.
do, you know,
As far as
that
eating
stuff everybody does on Instagram. You know, where they just take the liquid.
You mean spending money on butter?
Yeah, spending money on butter. That's
Quarter
not
pound of butter.
super necessary. Here we go.
Well, in my case, I just think it mimics the action of a deep fryer. But you do it on top of the stove.
I like to add more butter sporadically.
Like out of the blue?
Out of the blue.
At
I
random
do like
intervals?
this little technique, especially when we're working outside in the cold.
Yeah. Give it a rest. All right, what are you a believer in? Rest or no rest?
It depends on the cut.
Yeah.
You know, I've had delicious rested hanger steaks.
Yeah, it's much better.
And I've also had hanger steaks like literally quickly seared in cast iron, flippy, slice, mustard,
Yeah.
and eat right away. It's actually quite good. You get more of the carnal red blood.
I have a theory on like the myth or the story of like blue steaks in France. If you remember, bistros were like the restaurants of the factory workers and the proletarian, and you had one guy cooking steaks for like a dinner rush, so there was no time to specify like I like mine a notch above medium or a notch above this, and so it was all a thing of like to facilitate the job of the cook.
Cooking meat in North America and cooking meat in Europe is two things completely different.
Oh, it is. It is. I find it after like 25 years working in kitchen, I find it really stressful. I actually like to poke my knife into it and just look. Oh, it's beautiful. Is it my turn now?
So we're getting there. Okay.
Hey, baby.
Got 'em all right?
I don't know what it is. Just heard that.
Hey guys.